Hi everyone, this is Evelyn and I have reads for you today. I also asked some questions for you right before I came on, and so we are going to do our usual breaths and all that kind of stuff, but first I wanted to bring up what came up. So I was asking what might be helpful for you guys as far as the sea bug and drinking the water for the sea bug. And so I drew from the, oh boy, I'm forgetting what it's called. This deck is the, what's it called? Crystals. I think it's this one here. Crystal Angels. Okay, so this is the Crystal Angels deck. And just before I came on, I drew a couple cards and I asked first, what would be a good stone for if you have the bug? And garnet came up. And it was very interesting when I asked about the other, because first of all, let me see. So this is the garnet card, and it says purification and detoxification, which is perfect. So if you have the bug, it's time to release physical and energetic toxins from your life, and so garnet should help. And then when I asked about the drinking the water for the bug, these two guys came up. Dolomite, which look what it says, stay strong in your faith. So if you've already done it, right? If you've already drank the water, or you're around those drinking the water here, stay strong in your faith. A positive outcome is dependent on you keeping a positive mindset. So that makes perfect sense. And the second card that came up for that as well is aquamarine, which says divine life purpose. Trust the signs and your inner guidance, which are leading you to fulfillment. So again, it's saying, once you do, trust your guidance. But also if you get sick, to use garnet to help you with that. So it was very interesting there. So let's see. I'm going to pull one more to say, you know, whether you choose to do it or not is of course up to you. It's not something I'm into. But no resistance here either. It's about just keeping your energy vibration high no matter what. Whatever resonates with you is what resonates with you. That's up to your higher self, not mine. But let's see what card comes up regarding drinking the water at all for the C virus. So let's see here. So let's see, from the Crystal Angels, what comes up for should you drink the water? All right, this comes up Angelite. And this says spiritual or religious community. It says join with like-minded people for friendship and increased spiritual growth. So again, you know, what are your beliefs? It's up to the individual, okay? And actually yellow jasper comes up here too. Control issues, utilize your God-given strength and power instead of fearing that others may try to control you. Okay, very good advice for these cards. So let's go ahead first and take our 3 deep breaths. And one more deep breath. Lots of love and blessings out to everybody. Some other energies that were coming up around that topic while we're there. A lot of stuff about the mountains was coming up. I was going back to Shasta and regarding the water that we drink. And the well water kept coming up because the well water still. Take a closer look before you drink any well water or stuff that's underground, as opposed to the mountain water, which was coming up for me as the clearest water to drink, which makes sense because it's moving and it's coming from the snow-capped mountains. So that came up. And also Pay attention to your pets around people who have had it. See how I was getting that the pets may react. I don't know if they're going to react to having it or just being around it. But I was definitely getting like the energies of like PTSD and that kind of stuff, so they may have personality or mood changes. So yeah, let me know if that resonates with any of you guys. And what else came up? Oh, and the other energy was just around, what was that? It's always the lesser of two evils when we're looking at these type of situations, whether it's two sides in politics, or two sides in politics, or disease state and drinking the water, or between choosing which water to drink. Well, instead, choose no evil, and then see what resonates in order to achieve that. That was the message I got. So that was pretty cool. And then I pulled for the Animal Spirit deck to see what the Spirit deck had to say about it. And first it was about the underlying energy of coming out of hibernation. And notice hibernation is the hibernation of the nation. And it was definitely coming up in Capricorn, Sagittarius, which is when all of both things came out. Was December, or Sagittarius to Capricorn. The bear and the horse, Mr. Ed, plan of attack, right? For me, Mr. Ed is source. The plan of attack, so them coming in initially in the winter in order to manipulate all to get it out in the spring, because they knew that people would want to get out and not be restricted in the spring. So of course that was a timing manipulation. But on the other side now, on the other side of that time period is now the bull and the fox, which were coming up for Taurus and Gemini, where, Gemini doesn't mess with, they don't believe BS, right? So it's really coming up about now that we've come to Taurus and Gemini and we're past that, the Gemini energy is coming out with, we're not going for all that BS, right? So, they're too quick or smart for that. So then partners were coming up in 2 by 2s. But the most interesting message that came up around this was that, how the message was coming up, build it and they will come? It had to do with the rainbow coming into the collective. So, I always give you that image of the Kundalini snake wrapping around the world, which is the rainbow bridge, and now it's sealed, right? It's sealing this time period if it's not sealed already. And then the rainbow goes from the rainbow bridge snake into the collective of the earth. So what they were showing me was once, build it and they will come. So when the collective awakes, that is when the unions will come together, because then the unions will be very much needed for those collective who are awakening and will be drawn to them. So that was very interesting. So then the animal spirit cards were coming up 2 by 2s. The first was the crow and the elk. Very much the crow, which is standing on top of the rainbow earth in power, in control, right? And they're very spiritual, the crow. And the advice was very much daily meditation, which has to do with the feminine energy, standing guard, the mother crows standing guard, now that the rainbow is in the collective, to wake them. The elk, on the other hand, was coming up as the father, who's very headstrong and stable, keeps us very well grounded, but they're also resilient. They need to eat the right stuff in order to stay balanced. That was coming up around that, because otherwise they can get very high and mighty and pretentious. That was coming up as the father or the divine masculine energies, who are usually very kind and supportive and consistent. The next 2 by 2s that came up was the fish and the dolphin. Each was a feminine or a masculine energy. Each was a rainbow or etheric energy, and the other would be the masculine grounding energy. So the fish and the dolphin came up, where the dolphin was very rainbow and the fish was on the move. But you notice they're both water energies, right? So the fish is grounding within the seas. There's all different kinds of couples. And then we had the hummingbird and the tiger, where the hummingbird is rainbow and the tiger is the grounded one. And then we had the beaver and the otter, where they're both very sweet, but just the otter is more colorful than the beaver, is more stable. Then we had Scorpio and the vulture, which is more of a dark energy, and they're kind of like, the major warriors, the ones who don't take any crap. The scorpion who still has their sting out, but the vulture is there to clean up the messes, right? So we need everybody here. Then we had the cosmic egg and the deer, which cosmic egg is the end of the deck. It's the crown opening, and the deer, who's very sweet and innocent and very elegant, I want to say. There's that elegant energy of the deer and the cosmic egg. So that can be a couple where the feminine is very open in the crown, and then the deer is a masculine who's very sweet as well. Then we have the crocodile and lizard, you know, who can tolerate each other's energies, right? The croc sits in hiding, and then the lizard is kind of just more working their way around things. So there's all sorts of different couples. We have the spider and the lion, right? The spider is in the, like the spider has the same type of thing as the lion's den. The spider web is like the lion's den. That's where they resonate with each other. Where the spider's busy working on the grid, and the lion's, you know, king of the jungle, you know, keeping things in order down below. The golden egg and the owl came up. The golden egg is all about the heart, and the owl is very wise, regarding one very heart-based and the other very intelligent and wisdom-based. And then the worm and the dragonfly came up, which were both very colorful, but one is on the ground and one flies, the dragonfly. The cobra and the elephant then came up, so the last message was here. When the students are ready, because the cobra is all about that, when the students are ready, the teachers will come. And here comes the cobra and the elephant, right? The elephant is the king of the land, right? The biggest animal. And then the tarantula and wolf came up as the students being now ready, right? You know, the wolf in that deck is very kind of like stunned. They don't know what to make of all this. And it's really cute the way the cards came up. So when the collective is ready, the unions will come together to support and heal them. Very interesting information that was coming up. So then we get into the readings for today. The movie I ended up watching last night was perfect because it was The Best of Enemies, which was really good. It's an older movie, but it was so good because it was about how to make your enemy your friend. It was a great movie, so check that out. It had to do with the KKK, so yeah, really good movie. And again, that's the energy and spirits connecting with me. Don't forget that. It's like taming the wild horse, right? When you're dealing with someone like the KKK and perhaps an African-American person, which was the premise of the movie, it's just like taming the wild horse. You keep showing up in love and allow them to come to you. Don't push them, right? Because no one likes to be pushed to do what they don't want to do. But if you just keep being loving no matter what they do, it's like taming the wild horse where they eventually will come to you and trust you. So yeah, a great message to start the day. All right, so I'm going to show you the pictures. I did a bunch of different reads when I was trying to get some information on you know what. So I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm going to show you the main pictures for the read. So this is the union read. The 4D, 5D, 6D, the divine feminine, divine masculine, the bridge between them, the incoming divine masculine, the outgoing divine, the incoming divine feminine, the outgoing divine masculine, the underlying energies, and then the closing energies over here. And of course, this is the Syrian Starseed deck, which is what I always use for these reads. This is the main read for the twin flames in front of you. And then this is the full read with the 7 decks. Okay, so those of you not familiar with my read, it's a 7-deck read with Romance Angels, Tarot of Sexual Magic, the Numerology deck. The Syrian Starseed is the main deck, and then we have Rider-Waite Mini, Universal Golden Tarot, as well as the Gilded Tarot as well for the reads. And I've been doing some full deck reads from the Lenormand Reverie, which end up giving me great messages because I love using different decks because the contrast between the decks is what gets me my messages. And yeah, look at this sunshine today. Look how orange and yellow it was, and I caught a bird on there too. Really intense, and it's either really bright rainbow colors or really intense orange and yellow close to the sun, ring around the sun. Yeah, so here's just a quick shot of what I told you about the animal spirit deck when I was playing with that. Those are all the different 2x2s that came up. And then I pulled from the energy deck too, which is what came up here, which is very interesting. Which is the indecision of people and the underlying energies. And then you see the top row there of the Angel of Balance and the Angel of Love flanking the destitution there, which is financial destitution, that kind of energy, but doesn't have to be finance. It just has to do with, that lack mentality and that lack situation, and having two angels to balance them and support them as they get through it. And then the masculine is down below, again, with his abundance and his status or connections, again, flanking the card in the middle of there, which is, having other options. And then the masculine supporting those energies of, when one window closes or door, another one opens. But until you get there, the masculine is there supporting, all right? So they could be supporting each other in that way. So very interesting. Okay. So let's see what comes up. We're going to roll the die as well for the twin flames today. Yay, twin flames. All right, we have Venus. We have the number 2, which is also very Venus, one-to-one relationships. And we have Virgo, which is my energy, Virgo. So Virgo, of course, is the representative of the Virgo, but it's also the 6th house. And it is the middle of the astrological chart, right? So again, the energy of the purification from Virgo to Libra, I've been bringing up a lot. It's not that any one sign's better than the other, it's their function. So we have purification of Virgo, and then Libra is about balance and love. And we just had the love and balance in the cards that just came up for the Divine Feminine. So it's very important to understand that energy there. So as we go in, we're in Cancer, going into Leo not too long from now. And then we're going towards, this is like the graduation period every year, going into Lionsgate. And then it's like a post-graduation period where you're left out on your own, to your own devices, to see how you do and just see how it feels, where you don't necessarily have a lot of connection. So it's very interesting what comes up every year at that time. The union read was done yesterday at 2:30. 2 of the High Priestess, 30 of the 4 of Wands, the union or home energy. And that was for today, which is July 6th, 2021, which is the energy of the 18. So yesterday was the star, today is the moon, and the 6 of the lovers. So the energy of the moon, which is also June to July, and we had 7-6. So again, there's very much the energy of June to July, and 6 and 7 are also the Virgo and Libra houses. So there you go. It was just confirming what I just told you. We have the underlying energy of the Knight of Pentacles, the central energy of the 2 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is the closing energy here. So there's a proposal of love and dreams come true for the union read for the twins. And again, this is a general reading. Don't force every message to fit. If it doesn't resonate with you, it's not meant for you. And if you want something more specific for you, you can always check me out. My information's below, as well as on my website, twinflames3344.com. I have a CD out there too. It's called Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames, if you want to check it out. I still need to get back into the studio because I have a bunch more songs still to record. I just haven't yet, including my my Christ O Sophia, which I love that song. But yeah, I have to get them recorded so I can put them out there. So the incoming Divine Feminine here is the 6 of Wands, the Hanging Man, and the Ace of Wands. The proposal of the 2 flames, of 5 waving in the humid sun. And by the way, I just got back from my run and sweating my butt off because it was very hot out there today. So 5 waving in the humid sun, lights in concert harmonizing, the sign waving back and forth. And there could be sign language going on there too. So hanging out after fixing a link, perhaps on a chain, meditating with crystal rock for expansion in perspective, for new inspiration, a mighty big flame over and over and over again. Again, the flame is all about transmutation. Take 2 of 5 hanging out with 1, ignited 1 flame at a time, or 1 of 5 standing out. 2 as 1 with space between to hang out and feel and see a new perspective. The 4D here is the 4 of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the 9 of Pentacles. The Divine Masculine's heart in the Batcave. On the Divine Feminine side, the Divine Feminine Sovereign, pure wise bird on the Divine Masculine side. He inside, she outside, and he in 4 crystals, and she deciding what to do with 9 crystals. Smelling florals in the backyard. Oh, I just wanted to bring that up too. Yesterday when I was just getting a little sun out back, I smelled crazy floral energy, and there was no flowers in my backyard at all. I'd have some up front, but nothing in the back. A lot of green, but no flowers. And I was getting crazy floral smells back there. So smelling florals in the backyard with Cardinal visiting on the telephone line and she visiting him from within. Bridging in the chariot, all senses peaked and traveling fast, thinking about coming over on both sides of the coin. The 5D here is the Four of Swords, the Two of Cups, and the Knight of Swords, the divine feminine light in the storm, hovering over his cave underground, searching the seas, the dark depths for clues, as lightning seems to dance across the sky. So yesterday when I actually wrote the time down, I smelled the flowers at 3:05. And then at 3:23, a cardinal was sitting on the wire. It was a very small cardinal, but very red. I wasn't sure if it was the masculine or the feminine. But that was at 3:23, which is the Empress and the King of Wands. And then the 05, which is the Hierophant, was the flower energy. So at 4:44, which is the 3 fours, and that very angelic energy here, the divine masculine Knight of Swords passing a message to have their wish granted on a rock, under a tree. Or is that still the divine feminine's masculine on his side, putting it out there to the universe and self-satisfaction, or calling a venue to set up a menu between separation and the messenger of truth in a bubble, or I dream of Genie and Eden, bridging at the Two of Cups, facing each other in Eden, E's den or Eddie's friend. And again, I didn't realize this was coming up when I said this. But here I was just talking about the spider's den and the lion's den, and now here we have E's den. So facing each other in Eden, E's den or Eddie's friend. Healing and holding their tongue for the only one. 2 cups with their necks intertwined, like the Paramahamsa, the entanglement of the Paramahamsa swans wrapped in each other, coming up to rock and needing to split until they get to the other side. So like I had described before, when the swans who have complete faith in each other come to a big rock, they have to part from each other in order to get to the other side, but they have complete faith. It may have seemed like it took forever, but breaking through to the other side has been the message for the past 2 weeks now. The 6D here is the Tower, the Ace of Swords, and the Four of Cups. The divine feminine tower, where lightning strikes twice, perhaps misunderstood thoughts and words, blind men and orphans with lots of fires started to put out. 3 strikes and 4 fires, as lightning hits both land and sea, or fireworks 2, 3, or 4 days in a row. Any kind of sudden event or happening. A sudden event, epiphany, or blowing their mind, the divine masculine on Little Rock, with littler rock nearby, a cluster of likes like kangaroo, wallaby, and jerboa, or Sirius A, B, and C, looking up to the white dog or dwarf. Either way, that little guy who always hangs out next to me. 3 wishes granted, but needing 1 more to get all 4 safe on their side. Oh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. So this is coming up. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Well, it starts out, and I'll always remember you like a child, girl. So now that I've lost everything to you, you say you want to start something new, and I don't want to see you sad, girl. Don't be a bad girl, but if you want to leave, take good care. Hope you have a lot of nice things to wear, or make a lot of nice friends out there. But remember, there's a lot of bad, and beware. So it's like a father, letting go of his daughter type of energy. The divine feminine tower moments and the divine masculine with twinkle, twinkle, little star moments, bridging with dolphin play, just waiting for you to get done work so the truth can come up to be seen and get plumb, level, even, or Eve plumb in the Brady Bunch, the middle child. The divine feminine here is stable, the divine masculine's heart, grounding and integrating, playing her part of lightning times 2, and catch me if you can, and that can be the can as well, in the echo of the mountain range. The Power Rangers claim to fame, always ready, willing and able to put fires out. The divine masculine here is sovereign, enjoying time alone, in the yard, under a tree, or on a rock, or at sea, sea. Echoes everywhere of what's to come. A little something, something for everyone, and all connected in one way or another. The bridge here is the chariot, the move, the travel, the ascension with heightened senses to the Garden of Eden, and the genie, dream come true, with two as one and endless love, shielded by the brook and the book of love, blue lagoon and innocence. In no sense will aggression be tolerated by lagoons. The outgoing divine masculine is the 520, with the Hierophant and the 20 of the judgment, the Hermit, Star, and the 3 of Cups. And again, the judgment came up on something I was watching today, and I want to remind you guys, you don't need to think of judgment in a negative way. Judgment is a human way of making a decision. What socks do I put on today? You're making a judgment. So it doesn't have to be something bad. It is something human to do. When it becomes bad is when you use it to manipulate others because of your own wounds. So, take a look at that. There's nothing wrong with making decisions in your life, but you don't need to make other people's decisions for them either, okay? So the outgoing divine masculine here is the Hermit, the Star, and the 3 of Cups. The wise hermit with light, holding it back or unlocking the back door. For sovereign in her secret garden, the hermit reflecting on them with the rock star or Egyptian genie or Middle Eastern star, trying to lead them to gathering perhaps gathering them, it's any kind of gathering here. So trying to lead them to a gathering or reunion or coming together of healing. Kangaroo horse humans, you might have noticed on my tag yesterday with Mr. and Mrs. Ed, there was 2 pictures of kangaroos there that looked like horse humans, which was coming up in the words that came up for the 2 horses that were covered in my tag. So if you didn't look at it closely, go back and look at it again. And I always call God Mr. Ed, because God always comes up as Sagittarius or Saggy. So again, we have, and don't forget that SAG is a union. It's a Screen Actors Guild union, the actors union, and all the world is a stage, right? So we have the kangaroo horse humans going to a party or the Mary Magdalene Chapel and going to get married. Service for 9, getting their wish at a venue, both inside and out, or outside and in, where the sun shines in. Or perhaps a service for Mary to celebrate her life. With Olmec, and this is so funny, this is a show my son loved when he was little. And I actually made something in my ceramics class for him, which was an Olmec. Oh, I'll have to show it to you now that I think of it. Hold on, I gotta take my mic off for 1 second. I wasn't thinking of it, and it fell at one point, so sorry about my butt in your face, but so I want to show it to you because I like my Olmec, but I never really had a chance to show anybody because I made it for my son. But then it fell down and his ear broke off. So this, I don't know if any of you remember this, but this is Olmec, and this is what I made for my son. And it says Matthew's mantra, and Olmec always said, right? And it comes up in this reading big time, so that's why I wanted to show you the energy of Olmec. All right, so Olmec. And what came up was Raiders of the Lost Ark, but the show was actually called Legends of the Hidden Temple, but it's that same kind of energy. They had 6 teams, the green monkeys or monkeys, the red jaguars, the orange iguanas, the purple parrots, who repeat a lot of things, the silver snakes, which wrap themselves around, and then the blue barracudas, which that's the only picture, the only symbol that was in 2, so like a twin energy, the blue barracudas, like the blue rays. So 6 teams of 2, where there's 1 boy and 1 girl, in search for the artifact, through answering questions for a chance to go through the temple, retrieving the artifact, and then receiving the grand prize. So listen to the game. because they're paralleling this to the twin journey. So round 1 of the game was the moat, right? You have to cross it according to the rules, right? If you fall off or you break the rules and how you're supposed to get across the moat, then you don't get across, right? So round 1 was the moat, getting through your emotions. Number 2 is the step of knowledge or memory, right? The memory of who you really are. The 3rd part was the temple games, showing how strong you are. And the 4th part was the 12 to 13 room temple, which is the 12 of the finish and the 13 of the transition to the other side. The temple, which had a labyrinth with 3 rooms that had guards at them. And then you had 3 minutes to retrieve the artifact. And notice that retrieve has Eve and artificial and acting in it, okay? So the first part was water, which is crying and surviving the moat. The second part was knowledge and learning what you never knew, and the remembrance of self. The third part was the temple games, the test of your strength and endurance, how long you could hold out as the bold indent fell. And that was the C note. The C note of CCC, how long you could hold out. And then the final one, and what's the movie where, what's his name? The movie about, where they filmed the guy his whole life, and then at the end of the movie he's rowing away trying to escape and he bumps into a wall. I just can't think of the name right now. But that's the same type of energy coming up here. How long can you hold out? Can you hold out till it becomes obvious that this is an illusion, that you're not really in what you thought you were in? And then the labyrinth, and Spirit's connecting with me, of figuring out the puzzle right down to the last piece, the key to the art-I fact, or our source facts, or RT, which is source facts, or our TIF acts, right? Our acts of arguing and fighting. And then the last one is a route, RT, if act. So a route to escape if you need to act out. So it's very interesting how that came up. So 4 legs of the race, but only some make it to the 4th quarter and get the 3rd baton. And I started doing these reads talking about the 3rd baton, right? Do you take the 3rd baton and finish the 4th leg of the race, or do you not take the 3rd baton and go back to go? And go came up recently, right? That it's time that you finally made it back to go. So the DNA strand that unlocks the codes for the big playoff, saving only the best for last, and then going to the party, the hermit and the Egyptian, the boy and girl that won, with rod and staff, her rod of light and his staff of cane, and dear one with lantern, the blind leading the blind, or the orphan, and the fox and the hound dog, the blue suede shoes, always wanted to know what it would be like to walk in his shoes. And that would be Elvis, right? Blue and skin turned inside out, the color of the wounded warrior after they had been skinned, to grow a second skin that would be more sustaining, crystalline, and light. Okay, so this was literally the story of the wounded warrior, not so much the fool's journey. It was the wounded warrior's journey of how to undo everything you've ever been, the skin that you're in, take your skin off, and then grow a new second skin, which is more sustaining, crystalline, and light. So the Divine Feminine had Capricorn, Pisces, and Scorpio on her side, along with the Knight of Pentacles, the loyal, humble servant. The Divine Masculine had Virgo and Aquarius on his side at 554, which is the Hierophant and the Page of Swords, the message, along with the Knight of Swords, the messenger of truth, and the Sovereign, which can be someone of any age. It can represent his sovereignty or his child. But what was coming up between them on the bridge was Cancer, which is this time period right now, and that can also be, maybe they're dealing with someone who's got cancer. It could be someone in the family, themselves, a partner, or whatever it is, dealing with this time period of that Cancer energy and the mother energy and the couple's truth. As I just told you about a whole bunch of different couples. The game and the animal spirit deck, they're all about, matches, boys and girls together. And then we have, of course, the 72 by 2 in Noah's Ark of all the animals 2 by 2. And I was talked about the animals before the wounded warrior came about, that all the suffering had come from being a stone first, and the air, and then the animals, and then the human. It had nothing to do with your human experience, although that added to it. So then we had the number of the 41, the Ace of Cups, which is about self-love, spiritual love, and new love. That was the main number from the grid for this union read today. The horizontal pillars came up to 14, 5, and 22, which is the Temperance, Hierophant, and the Fool. And then the vertical pillars came out to 5, 1, 7, 3, 13, and 12. And we just talked about 12 and 13 in the rooms of the temple. So that's the Hierophant, Magician, the Chariot, the Empress, and the Death card, and the Hanging Man going into the Ace of Cups. So the patient angels committed to Fool in an offer of love, self, spiritual, and new. The Hierophant star, Empress, Death, and or transition to hang out with a new love, or the King of Swords, or the Hierophant and Magician. So it's either just the King of Swords or the Hierophant and Magician, which can be Taurus and Gemini or Virgo. Could be Aries too. One or the other set out in the cold, in a death, ending, hung out to dry, to learn self-love. The King of Swords in the Chariot also, with the Empress transiting through the portal to see a new perspective of love, but also transitioning in an ending and hung out to dry, and all about the masculine learning how to receive self-love. Very important, right? So then I did the Twin Flame read, which the Syrian Starseed deck was cut and dealt at 606 again. 6 is the lovers, 2 sets of lovers, or the 60, which is the 6 of Swords and the lovers, which is finding peace together. And then the whole time I was cutting the deck and dealing, I was getting go into the chapel and we're gonna get married, like over and over and over again, a lot. And then at 6:15, which happens to be my brother Jim's birthday, 6 is the lovers and 15 is the devil, so they're both the same card of the dark and the light, but then our seed came up. Okay, so our seed, our seed, and our seed, so our seed gets planted here. I was also getting up to her, the Queen of Pentacles is up to her eyeballs. And that can reference her third eye as well. All right, so then at 6:26, when it was completed, all 7 decks, the 6 is the lovers, the 26 is the Page of Wands. The major arcana here were the Tower, Indigo. Indigo is the Magician. Guidance is the Hierophant. Alchemy is the Temperance. And then Starseed is the Fool. And before the read, the Higher Self also came up. There were 5 wands in this read, big action, physical passion, all that kind of stuff coming up, creativity. And 1 sword, that was it. There were no cups and no pentacles in this read, not in the main cards. So we have in the read, the court cards were only the Queen of Wands. She's the only court card in the read. But before the read were the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Cups. And after the read, the King of Pentacles, the Wounded Warrior, and the Queen of Pentacles. So again, I just finished talking about the Wounded Warrior to you. And the Wounded Warrior is being flanked by the King and Queen of Pentacles, which is what I just told you about the energy deck, where, right, the Angel of Balance and Angel of Love was flanking the one in destitution, or the Wounded Warrior. And same with the masculine grounding the energy of helping someone open a new door when one door closes. So again, that's confirming that. So we had double 8s in this read. So again, the twins dancing side by side, the crazy 8s, as I call that. The code line was all about synchronicity, and it was broken up into synchronic and ITY, which is I in gratitude. So, synchronistic gratitude of the 88, but we also had 6, 7, 8, lay them straight, the 2 of the High Priestess, the 1-on-1, the Mediator, the feminine energy, and in a lesser sense, we had the 12 of the Hanging Man, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, which is like not just the 3, 4, 5, but I just brought up the rock and the animals as far as the Wounded Warrior, so they wanted me to bring up all the densities for you, because it wasn't just the 3rd, 4th, and 5th dimension or density. We started from the air and the rocks and the ground and then the plants and then the animals, which are the 1st and 2nd densities going into the 3rd, which then we have the 3, 4, 5. right? So then we had the 89 also, which is the reflection of 98, the human body temperature. So for me, 89 is Phi, the expanding and contracting, always coming back to center again. And the code line was as follows. Well, number one, 51 came up from the 5 wands and the 1 sword, which is the King of Swords. So King of Swords, very significant here today. And he's the logical man, right? He's all about intelligence and thinking of things logically, not in the heart. Although he's been through the cups already. So it's not that he's not experienced, but the swords have been very hurt before because they just got out of experienced cup energy, right? That's when you get your heart broken. So the code line is all about the number 10 from 2 and 8. And of course, 28 is the twins, the 2 of wands, the 2 of flames, the 2 of the high priestess, the 8 of the dance, the inner and outer strength, but also the manifestation of your dreams with the 51 and 88 and 2 and the other numbers I told you about. The messages came up as follows. They say ice, a second, or to the nth degree, the Queen of Wands with gate of words, to the 9th degree as well, I, the X, in synchronic ITY, I being grateful for the synchronicities. So yeah, it's kind of a weird message today, but it's all about the Queen of Wands because she's the challenge in the read today. And her words, she's upright in the read, but it was coming up as, words and thoughts can be very hurtful in the way you say them, especially if they're misunderstood. But also the orbs has to do with orphans and blind men, right? Those who are vulnerable and can get their feelings hurt easily. To the 9th degree as well, which has to do with the 9th of compassion and the nth degree of the numbers. It's the endings and the need to let go of things that no longer serve you. And then the X comes up regarding synchronicity. And synchronically being in gratitude. But also, it also comes up as sin and I always get, L. Ron Hubbard coming up too when I see Ronick. So that's coming up as well. So to the nth degree, also aspirin, ice. So obviously someone might have gotten hurt or has swelling. To the nth degree, taking aspirin or ice, whether it's in twos, like morning and night, or asunder, like let no man put asunder. To the nth degree, aspirin and ice and asunder, because you let someone put you under. Toggling up or taking a time out, and then someone left. So it's like someone took a time out, but actually then ghosted. They just left without telling. So someone trying to recover from that with aspirin and ice, maybe an injury perhaps, toggling up or taking a time out and left, or to clear of flames, or to be the Queen of Wands, which is actually being the transmuter of energies in God's prison, the hermit of the collective consciousness, the wise one, the one who's alone. I-10 or I dance comes up, as well as the 8th note dance of the crazy 8s. And the X is the 2 lines falling together in an 8th note pattern, like an 1/8 of a degree instead of a quarter, which then they would just be, they would be lines overlapping each other if you overlap them a quarter each. So it's a quarter overall, an 8th note on either side, and then you get the X of the 2 dancing. So, and also they say, I can't remember the words of that song. They say, na 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 na. So whatever, if you want to put that below, you can, but that's coming up as well. So to the nth degree, aspirin and ice, asunder, in time out and left, to clear and transmute those energies of fire and flames, God's prison, the hermit, the collective consciousness, the wise one going within. The I-10, which is that high vibration, or perhaps you're driving on Route 10, or the I dance of the 8th note dance. Synchronistically and ironically, that I am thankful, that I am, that I am. Also, to fart silently came up literally as a definition here. To ice a second, it said to fart silently, ice a second, elevate, to clear inflammation, God's imprisonment. And again, the I-10, the I-X, the CC or carbon copy, so carbon's coming up. And again, if you want to do a carbon detox, activated charcoal, so that was coming up for sure today. So the collective consciousness or carbon copy, so carbon and charcoal coming up. the hermit and synchronistic gratitude here. To the nth degree, perhaps an SAE, which is a serious adverse event in medical research. I, the good half, a second or two in time out and left, the Queen of Wands, God's prison sentence for the hermit, or vice versa. And again, sin of chronic malt. So someone might have an addiction to malts, or someone that's like molten lava and likes to explode, or being thankful. The sin of chronic molten lava is like being in gratitude, being thankful for it. Okay, and again, the talk about volcanoes, because volcano clears the water, makes it clean. So there's always a blessing in disguise here, coming up here. The Eight of Wands reversed at 6:55, which is the Lovers and the Truth, the Ace of Swords, and beneath the Eight of Wands reversed, 5 cards down and 5 cards at the end for a 21 card read, which is the World and the completion. The Eight of Wands reversed, with below it from the bottom up is the Higher Self reversed, 5 of Wands upright, 3 of Pentacles upright, the Knight of Wands reversed, and the Queen of Cups reversed. So the secret passion, waves of flames, co-creating with the Knight of Wands reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed, who may be always fighting in a heated exchange or not expressing their true feelings or desires, which then are causing delays in communication and or travel. The whole truth presented to the workplace, delayed or truth not presented with accompanying desires, right? The truth was presented but not along with their true desires. Finding peace, a way for clarity regarding temptation, ball and chain, addictions, codependencies, and or Capricorn waving hello at the workplace at 6:59, which is the Lovers and the Five of Swords. Getting over death, ending, or dead tired or clingy, and suddenly jealous, or Scorpio reversed, suddenly freaks out or has epiphany about juggling performance or performer and being a distraction, a distraction of the Empress reversed or Taurus reversed, with Scorpio reversed or Knight of Cups reversed, suddenly satisfied without the Empress reversed or Taurus reversed, dumping a load, a burden, responsibility in order to connect in 5D, on rest, break, or lay to rest, or meditating. So growing roots in self-satisfaction and how to please oneself at 7:05, which is the Chariot and the Hierophant, getting used to no shirt and tie, drinking or celebrating with self, or celebrating yourself, retiring with no responsibilities but to take care of self, and perhaps wear flip-flops or open-toed shoes, practicing meditation, recycling sexual energy, or perhaps tantric sex, weak in need, I was just getting weak in the knees as well, weak in need of strength and courage to purge or end the nightmare, to study or grab the brass ring, the opportunity of a lifetime, but in need of tools and security, to sew the quilt together, to start in the countryside, learning to manipulate energy perhaps, or the Page of Pentacles upright rising above pettiness of Leo, Gemini, and Virgo, all reversed here. And the Page of Pentacles can also represent the crystal children. But again, an opportunity or an invite, or any earth child as well, out of control. So the Leo, Gemini, and Virgo reversed energies could be out of control Leo, ego, pets or kids, or just in general manipulativeness. Express your love, and beneath that was romantic feelings. So if you have romantic feelings, express your love, which we were just saying aren't being expressed. Codependent and out of balance is no way to go. Sunshine and happiness and energy stealing while making off with the goods or intel too. Evil Empress reversed, and I was just getting Elvis again. The evil Empress reversed, with the Knight of Swords reversed, the Wicked Witch of the West, and or verbally abusive and sexually manipulative, and or out of control, punishing the kids or doing pornographic exercises together. There's a thief in the house, or kids, or doing or using sex to distract while stealing time, money, energy, and stuff. And then I was getting the energy of The Jerk, the movie. All I need is this, but then when they leave, they start taking everything else they had already agreed they wouldn't take. So leaving the truth out of the bed and hanging up red boots that would walk all over you and then some. An abusive energy here, whether it's verbal, sexual, or theft, and the need to get the lazy mother out of the house. That's just the way it came out. Pisces reversed, Capricorn upright, and then Scorpio both upright and reversed, with Taurus reversed and Leo both upright and reversed, as well as Virgo or Gemini reversed here at 721, which is the Chariot and the World, or completion. With relationship change of 56, the Two of Swords being your knowing and keeping your energy clear, and beneath that having compassion of the 99 regarding endings and the need to let go of things that no longer serve you, and the collective consciousness and the collective in general. So the workplace here, there may be a party or co-creating a reunion, creating joy and walking away in separation and or disappointment, getting their ducks in a row, organizing work at night, losing faith in a marriage or getting divorced, or a break away from a religion or establishment. And again, I said that L. Ron Hubbard was coming up, so that may be referenced there. This week also, Wiccan came up too. So there may be someone specific who uses it for dark purposes. But Aries and Taurus both reversed at 725, which is Chariot, and the 25 of the Knight of Wands. Charlotte's Web and the Fool's Mistake on the journey. No more foolish behavior, falling on face or from grace, dropping the baton in the last leg of the race. A ring on the ankle, and writing all messed up, feeling like they made a fool of themselves, with 8 coins floating up in the air now. And where will it land? Well, not in Aries reversed or Taurus reverse hands. 333 and 369, 3 threes here. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Outside the box, being alternative, the Hierophant reversed in a debate about the 5D connection, with Magician reversed, that can be a Gemini or Virgo, or possibly Aries reversed as well, holding their tongue or cracking the whip, abusing and some in an abusing way, in a relationship change, knowing and keeping to themselves, and that could be the abuse. The underlying energy is the 730 of the Chariot and the Union, the home. The underlying energy here is post-war, the wounded warrior, the King of Wands depressed. And then after the read comes up destiny regarding the Emperor reversed with the Page of Pentacles, or an opportunity or invitation, and having to start over. Under the radar, or feeling like a failure, and presenting the truth and standing up to the King of Wands. The King of Wands can be the wounded warrior or with the wounded warrior at work, then looking back at the Magician reverse, which has to do with their insecurities, a lack of tools or manipulations at 733, the Christ vibration in the Chariot, and awakening to the 10 of Pentacles, abuse perhaps, their family, business, or community. The recent past here is the 7 of Wands, rising from the ashes of the past to expose all or just be happy, enjoy kids and fun, or exposing a thief or coward on the run, running away from confrontation with fears or the enemy, assuming the worst or bad news, under the radar with the Page of Wands upright, inspired by the 6 of Cups love, which is 2 inner children or outer children hugging each other in true innocent love. The Queen of Swords reversed, and that can have to do with past life energy as well. The Queen of Swords reversed, dumping emotional attachments or multiple loads, no longer confused with new information or clarity about withholding time, money, and effort, but not passions, or refusing to pay someone for sexual services, or to get them, or doing that to get them to like them. So again, paying for someone's services to get them to like them. So the foundation here is the Indigo reversed, Gemini or Aries reversed, unable to manifest a proposal. The Queen of Wands upright, lover or Gemini, with an unhappy ending of emotional lack of satisfaction, or a family that is. A break in commitment of marriage, religion, establishment, or social norms, stepping it up, or spreading the word, a message of standing up to those who are clinging, or Taurus standing up to Scorpio, but they're both reversed. Taurus to Scorpio, and they're both on the same each other's axis, with Gemini or twins supporting them doing this. The central energy here is the Tower upright, which can reference leftover energies of fireworks from the July 4th energy. The sudden event of epiphanies and sex, and the Knight of Wands reversed player, with the Page of Cups innocent. The King of Pentacles upright, powerless to losing money from 9 to 7 to 4 Pentacles and now stable. Suddenly the Knight of Pentacles is reversed, refusing to offer help and challenged by the Queen of Wands, the drama queen, or that everyone's siding with the Queen of Wands and not them in the family or the business, the community. So the conflict regarding the Seven of Pentacles upright, reaping rewards and the pursuit of happiness, walking away due to a third party, Queen of Swords reversed, awakening and healing with the King of Wands reversed and the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So we have 3 queens right here as well. And the Ten of Pentacles family, business or community here as well. But it's upright, but that doesn't mean they don't misuse their power, right? So the King of Pentacles upright here is suddenly dependent or suddenly with dependence, and the Queen of Pentacles is with the King of Wands, both reversed, along with the Ten of Pentacles family. So it's like they're all on their side, and then she's with all the money, as the King of Pentacles, who makes all the money, now has little, or an older brother or player stole the Queen of Pentacles reversed away from the King of Pentacles reversed, after the King of Pentacles was always loving to them, to both of them. The King of Pentacles is upright, the Queen is reversed. The King of Wands is reversed, but the Queen of Wands is upright. But a challenge here, she's the challenge. So suddenly the Knight of Wands reversed and the Page of Cups may be making up, those could be children making up with each other, or the Knight of Wands reversed is freaking out, or suddenly the King of Pentacles is offering a little love to the Knight of Wands reversed with help from the Page of Wands. The Page of Cups may be frustrated in trying to express their feelings because they're young and immature. That could be an adult with immature emotions, wanting to heal and forgive the Page of Pentacles, who's hurting themselves. Due to the Emperor reverse turning his back on them in a deception with the Hermit giving advice, powerless or about dependence, refusing to socialize or be happy, or third party suffering in silence, or sister, a long time suffering, and the world upside down, or divine feminine in the 5D, and the Lovers with the Page of Cups acting all innocent and such. So the now moment here is the Six of Wands reversed, perhaps feeling a failure. And again, that's the same kind of energy as the Knight of Wands reversed, right? It's the player energy, or of falling short on energy, falling short of expectations, or paralyzed by your own passions. Feeling of failure, attention seeking, and depressed under the radar, with the Hermit shedding light on it, breaking patterns, dropping the act, with the Six of Cups upright, knowing and keeping it to themselves. About a divorce or spirituality, and the connection of two who are out in the cold, who may be shocked or found frozen. The injustice of, and the movie Frozen could be coming up as well, but again, it has to do with the freezing of the Knight of Wands, right? Paralyzed by their own passions, right? Because no one is truly a player. They become a player because of their wounds. You know, no one wants to just run in and have sex. They want love, but they've been so wounded that they think that's an illusion. So again, that's that energy of feeling like a failure, and then again, the injustice of the wounded warrior. The Emperor reversed fighting with the Empress reversed, who's jealous and acting out, but without options, perhaps for going out to dinner. The wounded warrior finding peace in misery loves company. The 806 here is the 8 of the strength and the manifesting of dreams, and the 6 of the lovers and the dance of that. The lovers around the world in 80 days comes up there as well. The wounded warrior may be complaining of the Empress reversed, who may be jealous, a fool because of their problems, fending off unwanted advances in a lover's connection, hostage of the King of Swords, boldly moving at the crack of dawn, or perhaps planning on boldly moving at the new moon, no longer confused about dumping an emotional load, purging overwhelmed with the Queen of Cups reversed, dumping a physical load or burden or their responsibilities, suffering in silence or dealing with sister, or purging the divine feminine in the 5D, lovers, with the Page of Cups upright, emotionally very young or immature, and soon here there's no guidance, a need for guidance, or a divorce. After a sudden event, epiphany, or sex, an ending pain, with the Queen of Swords reversed, and the King of Cups upright, and the inequity, with patience, not heeding the call, needing to swallow their pride. Perhaps they spoke too soon or choked when they wanted to do something, destined to end the pain or bleeding out, Grounding and integrating, which that also could be a GI bleed. So if someone drinks a lot, they could be having a GI bleed, which is liver failure. So that could be coming up for somebody. So someone needs to swallow their pride. Perhaps they spoke too soon or choked. Destined, that could be literally choking as well. Destined to end pain or bleeding out, grounding and integrating, or GI bleed. Healing and forgiving, a secret passion, and the need to use their intuition to be more proper, perhaps, or virtuous. Or Scorpio, King of Cups, with Pisces in their chart. The divine feminines are being, the twin flames are being seen as alchemy upright, being patient and balanced, but not expressing their true desires in a heated exchange of the energetic exchange between them of a higher love. And instability, the need for a move, a visit, or a stable home life, withholding or playing hardball, saving to reap rewards or retire, injured and holding their tongue with the divine feminine in the 5D, unable to function, or Pisces reversed, surrounded by the Knight of Swords and Knight of Pentacles, both reversed, and they're all unhappy there. So an air sign and an earth sign with Pisces reversed, with Sag upright and Pisces reversed, which is so funny because I was talking to my daughter and her friend last night, and that was so Pisces Sag energy. But let your friends help. It is safe to love, and wedding that this situation involves marriage. Around the twins, or how they're seen, is the twin flames reversed, without options, with passion offered, but without an option, getting over a loss and regret or the guilt of the past, the secret passion of Pisces reversed, or the divine feminine in the 5D, the block being the 8 of Swords upright, the prison, the anxiety, the fear, hiding, destined to self-satisfy, or Virgo and Aquarius came up regarding that Pisces energy. That could be Virgo or Aquarius as well. But the bleeding heart of the Page of Cups, Libra upright, Aquarius reversed here, with synchronicities, but even more so, rebirth and karmic completion. The Hermit missing their flame, but getting over it. Starseed reversed, making a fool of themselves, or no downloads, as the Two of Cups lovers are suffering in silence or dealing with their sister in another world of innocent lovers of affectionate children, lacking faith in the 5D connection, grounding and integrating a message of love, which is the Page of Cups, the innocent connection. Falling from grace under the radar, the divine masculine's heart in the Batcave, crystals, perhaps dumping their emotional attachments and multiple emotional loads, purging and feeling overwhelmed with the Queen of Cups reversed, with no passion left. Perhaps she's felt hurt in 10 different ways here, and the King of Pentacles opening his crown to the wounded warrior, withholding from the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Juggling, performing, or distracting people from what's really been going on behind the scenes at 824, which is the dance in the Queen of Wands, and then the energetic exchange reversed, arguing of the 8 of Wands, with indigo reversed, which can be, manipulation and insecurity, arguing and manipulating each other, not telling true feelings or causing delays in communications and travel, but arguing with the indigo in energetic exchange in order to be patient with twin flames who have no options, rising above the drama and the tower events, and challenged by the Queen of Wands, that very fiery multitasker or drama queen, without guidance or getting divorced or getting out of prison. Under the radar, feeling a failure or falling on their face. I was just getting falling on ice, which I don't know if maybe you've been put on ice. I don't know why you'd be falling on ice unless you're in a really cold area of the world, but maybe there was ice out and you fell on ice. So the Queen, again, you might be putting ice out too because it's so hot out. But the Queen of Wands, without guidance or getting a divorce or getting out of prison, under the radar, feeling a failure, falling on face, the divine masculine's heart in the King of Pentacles, the wounded warrior, withholding or saving for a new life with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, or heated exchange and rising above, divorce or Taurus reversed, but without no one's offering them anything, and feeling insecure regarding sudden events and being unable to function, right? Kind of stunned into submission. So both the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands can come up like that. The Knight of Pentacles more in a practical way, just not being able to go to work because you're emotionally wrapped up in whatever you're in. And then the Knight of Wands being the sexual energy. Like you can't function sexually because you're so wrapped up in your emotions. They come up in different ways, but both paralyzed by their energies. The block here is the Queen, or the challenge is the Queen of Wands upright. Under the radar, alchemizing and in need of guidance. She could be doing spell work or mixing up concoctions as well. But she may be in need of guidance with Sag upright and Taurus reversed, without options, and the Best of Enemies title came up right here. Sag upright, Taurus reversed, without options, imprisoned and falling from grace or lacking faith and foolish behavior, holding on to what he's got left, the Four of Pentacles, of the King of Pentacles, who usually has a lot more than that. So he, as the Wounded Warrior, there's very little fight left to withhold as the King of Pentacles Wounded Warrior from the Queen of Pentacles reversed at 8:30, which is the dance and the union. So let's pull some oracle cards now. Let's see what comes up for you guys. And again, this was all about, we had Venus, the number 2, which are both very Libra oriented, and then the Virgo energy, which we were talking about 6 and 7, which are all about the Virgo Libra energy. So that's very interesting, but it's also the time period we're in, which is the June to July period. So let's see what the animal spirit deck has to say for us now, and it's 1:06:12 on the clock, which is the Magician, the 6 of the Lovers, and did I say 12? Yep, that would be the Hangman. So the wisdom of them, of the Lovers and the Magician, their Magician embodiment. And it was just 2:22 on the clock. So room 222 is the guidance counselor show. So your guidance is coming up. And remember to file, it's okay to ask for guidance outside yourself, but always be the last word from your inner guidance. 222 also references the 2 and the 22, which is the Fool's Journey and the High Priestess, or the feminine energy. And from the Animal Spirit Guidebook, what is the message for the Twin Flames? What is their outside guidance that then they're going to resonate or not resonate with? The otter. He's the friendliest little guy. He's so sweet. And this is the energy. And it's like a 2-year-old in their diaper with his belly sticking out. He's very cute, and he's very much in his solar plexus in confidence, his heart, right? Always in the heart, and then his words of his truth. So staying in the middle, from the truth to the heart to the solar plexus. And your confidence is about keeping positive as well, keeping your energy up and speaking your truth and staying in your heart. And that's why the otter's so happy, because he stays in the middle. And there we have the unicorn as well, right? They really understand each other. They may be from different planets, but they definitely resonate with each other. Look at that. They're looking at each other so sweetly. And then the Phoenix. And the Phoenix rising definitely came up in this. But I also get the eagle with this, the Phoenix rising. And remember that this is about the energies of transmutation, because it's the lower 3D chakra system. The root to the sacral chakra to the solar plexus, and getting rid of those ego-based urges and ways of treating ourselves and others, letting go of that part of who we are, but it's not like we're destroying it, we're integrating it into a higher energy, a higher vibration, into a higher love. And then we have this, because we have there's always sharks around here. Shark attack, and attacks were coming up in the read too. I was just getting photosynthesis, I don't know why. So photosynthesis is coming up. Photosynthesis, why is that coming up with the shark and the phoenix? And by the way, the next is the hawk. So there's a lot of bird energy around the shark. So okay, this is what this is coming up. So I told you how the angel of balance and the angel of love were taking care of the destitute. Well, here is the two powerful energies of the hawk and the phoenix taking care of the shark, which is like the KKK movie I described, right? Just being there for the shark until the shark surrenders, because now they trust you. You just allowed them to be them until they surrendered. But you kept being in their environment until they had to feel and resonate your energy. Very interesting how that came up. And again, here's your students. They're coming up the same way they came up for me earlier. When the student is ready, the teachers will come. And you see the wolf, like he's sitting in class, he's paying attention. And there's the tarantula. He may be like looking at the back of the classroom and not paying attention, but that's okay. That's why he's there as a student. So the tarantula, and then Tara is coming up as well. The Tara and the wolf. And again, the tar is like that dark energy we're trying to get out. So the tar of the tarantula and the woe of the wolf, which is why they are the students here. When they are ready, the teachers will come. And then what comes next? Oh, the beautiful ones. And then the bottom of the deck is the fox over here. So the sly one was coming up as Gemini, right? You can't get one over on a Gemini. They're just too quick-witted. They're very intelligent. And then we have the cosmic egg. And, you know, if their crown's open too, you know, you can't get one over on a Gemini here. So the fox is the underlying energy, right? Being smart, not being outwitted. But the fox in this deck is also very committed to one. They're very loyal and committed. So that's the energy of the underlying energy. And then after the students, when the students are ready, the teachers will come. And there, you know, the whale is the king of the sea. And the peacock is beautiful within and without. And the moth, like a moth to a flame, that's how the students will come to the peacock and the whale. They have a lot to teach you. So this is them coming up together. So when the students are ready, like a moth to a flame, the teachers will come automatically. It's a resonance thing. Okay? And then from the journey of love, and the fox is just staring there, watching all this go down, knowing better to get involved in it, knowing better than to get involved in it. And of course, the otter and the unicorn are so cute, just hanging out together. So sweet. That's the first energy that came out for you guys. The fox could also be getting out of the picture. The fox could have been a third party for the otter and the unicorn. And they could be leaving the scene of the crime. And then from the journey of love here, these came right out. A bunch of them though. The bottom of the deck is the pearl threaded, the 38, which is the Queen of Cups. Then again, that we all share wounds that are the same, no matter who you are or where you're from. And this is the picture of the deck. It says on both sides. So self-initiation is coming out as number 1, the 12 of the wise man, hanging out and seeing new perspectives. And you see her very much being in the vortex and of the cyclone as well. She can walk through anything and be in it but not of it. And then we have the 3 to 1 coming into the vortex as the mother, father, and the child. The 10 of the high vibration and a turn for the better, the wheel of fortune, and getting out of the cyclone and getting out of the 3D energies into the upper chakra system, 3 to 1. And remember, 3, 2, 1 was coming up as the throat chakra, the heart, and the solar plexus, because it's right in the middle. And then we have the angel of Jupiter awakening, which again is 2 planes of existence right above each other. One's just lighter than the other, mixed up in the chakra, right? Put the power here. That's where the power lies, right in the middle. And then we have the sweet soul rising. So again, I brought up judgment in the beginning here. And again, this is about sweet soul rising, the sweet judgment of a child, being very light and sweet and not judging harshly. It can just be making a decision or a judgment call. And then we have the etheric touch of the 27, which is the feather, but also the flame, because the 27 is the Ace of Wands. But light as a feather in the ethereal touch regarding the flame, the sweet innocence of the sweet soul rising, and the 2 planes of existence and finding the power to bring those planes together to live multidimensionally. The angel of Jupiter awakened in the Lovers, and then we have the 10 of a turn for the better, along with wisdom here, of course, of the Hangman, which is the Jesus energy, in a turn for the better of the Lovers with the sweet soul rising with the etheric touch, which can represent the Magdalene energy. So let's see what else comes up with this here. So again, the bottom of the deck was the pearl threaded. Remember that we all bond by our wounds, because we all share some similar wounds. And this card also wanted to come up with just the 48, walking away within, knowing when to walk away, when to run. The man of the earth and the woman of the sky. You know, coming into the edge of the vortex. They're just right there, like you can almost taste it, but there's still a lot of turbulence in the air. And again, the Mary Magdalene energy here, that she's carrying the weight of the world. There's an M to the left, knowing without knowing, the 41 of self-love, spiritual love, and new love. It's simple. And that's the buttercup yellow as well. And I said it's simple. What comes out? Simplicity. It's simple. The 4 is about basic security. When people feel safe and secure, then they can be loving. But you have to understand that the safety and security has to come from your heart. It says Olmec. Okay, so I have to read that for you too. The first one was self-initiation, which is number 12, wisdom. Okay, self-initiation. You're being touched by a wave of your own light in motion. Can you feel the blessings and love that are flowing towards you, from within you, in an upsurging wave of love? This is your own pure divine nature. You can choose to empower another as a carrier of your own divinity, of course. And sometimes if you're not quite ready to recognize your own divine essence, this needs to be. Yet at any moment you can choose to recognize that it is you who are initiating yourself into love, that you are the being of light, the divine that is drawing you forward into yourself. At any moment, can you choose to recognize yourself? Will this be such a moment? This oracle holds a message for you. There are many teachers on the path, some humble, some wise, some great companions on your life's journey, and some who will enter in and out of your life quickly, perhaps imparting a helpful word or teaching you a more challenging lesson about trusting and relying upon your own wisdom. The greatest teacher, however, is life itself. You can trust in your own experiences and know that it is the divine spark within you, the life within you, that is the one true teacher who carries you home in awakened reunion with the divine. The poem reads, how easy to love, the words flow when it's right. I dare not tell you. Okay, I hope that was good for you guys. It was definitely good for me. And take a deep breath. Let it all out. It's 2, 3, 4. Shut the door. Okay. And just love yourself first. Okay. Drink your water, get your rest, your joy in nature, and rise and be loved, guys. See you soon. Bye.